Shu Sean.
All right, bear with me here. It's almost there.女士们、先生们、老师们、同学们、家长们 just kidding, I'm not gonna do that. But ladies and gentlemen, staff and students, parents and kids, relatives who drove for hours, or my grandmother who flew from the other continents across the ocean to get here, good afternoon. Before we start, a couple of personal announcements. My people skills are rusty, as I spent the past year trying to get to here. To all my classmates and friends who are here, glad you made it here. To all my friends who aren't here, you're probably in Vienna sitting through another graduation, so good luck to Christy on her speech. Emily Richardson, Emily Maceline, thank you for keeping me sane this year. And for everyone who haven't seen Infinity War, Bailey and Elizabeth will not spoil the fact that Batman dies. Now, first things first, I would like to thank everyone for coming today, especially the mothers in the audience. I almost feel bad for stealing your spotlights. After all, it's Mother's Day. But once again, nothing says Mother's Day than spending a day dedicated to you to watch your kid walk across the stage. Because after all, that's what mothers do. They sacrifice their time for their kids. I would like to start off by thanking all my teachers for putting up with me and my class for the past however long it is. Thank you, Mrs. Shelby. I know what sarcasm is. Mrs. Hike, mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. To the math department, Mrs. Carney, Miss B, and Mr. K, thank you for putting up with me. You guys are amazing. To the history department, Mrs. Morris, Coach Smith, and Mrs. Windsor, you guys are awesome. I didn't fall asleep once. To Mr. Limburner, who's somewhere taking pictures, I'm sure, thank you for being a safe driver and not accidentally making me disappear on the trips we've been on. And Mrs. Ross, if you're here today, thank you for putting up with our classes, correcting our papers, telling us that we can't use contractions and not ending sentences with prepositions, things we've never heard of. To Mrs. Bowen, is Miss Bowen here today? No? Okay. Well, David and I had some great time in your class, and thank you for showing me how to use the works cited page on Word, which is better than Docs. Mrs. Janke, I don't know if you're here today, but you're an awesome first-year teacher. Loved it. Mrs. Foltz, thank you for letting me use your lab with the coffee maker and the sugar. Mrs. Ed, Mrs. Kobe, thank you for the senior trip. It was amazing. We took shots in Florida. It was water. And everyone else, thank you for coming today. The elementary teachers, you guys did it. I would like to go on with the thank you list, but him here is giving me a dirty look, so I'll move on. So now, just like Taylor Swift at the 2016 VMA, who threw shades, I'm gonna attempt to follow her style and be throwing shades. Physically, literally, spiritually, and I'm out of shades. Just so the record's clear, I'm not gonna insult anyone here. If you're let down by that, Lakeland's graduation is the 19th. Class of 2018, we made it, like for real. We're all here today, awake, alive, sober, you get the idea. For the past years, we've gotten up early, showed up to school, gotten homework, procrastinated and ignored unsaid homework. And from the time we survived the phoneless dinners, to the time we scared away first-year teachers, from Osceola in Florida, to the 35 minutes of the warm loop on the prom bus, we've had some great memories together. I will totally not mention that one time, that one person did that one thing so she or he won't get in trouble by the school. Anyway, kids, don't do drugs. Now, so they don't get onto me for completely goofing this up, I would like to get serious for a moment. This seems like a good time for a drink, a cold, calculated speech with sinister overtones, a speech about politics, about order, about brotherhood, and about power. But speeches are for campaigning. This is a time for action. Today, we mark the last day of our high school in a way of speaking. And let's see, where was I? A stage where we don't have to worry about English papers or getting up super early. A stage where we have to find out how we can matter in this world. If we can endure the lunch here, Mrs. Ross's classes, and all the other stuff that we put up, we can endure everything. So I wish you guys the best of luck to whatever you do. It doesn't matter if you're going to college, the military, the workforce, someone's basement. You'll do great. It doesn't matter if you know what you want to do with your life, if you don't know what you want to do with your life, if you think you know what you want to do with your life, or if you think you don't know what you want to do with your life, you will find something to do. But life is more than just finding something to do. It's about finding something to do that you love. Because isn't that what life is about? Go out there and be adventurous. Make some differences, make some great memories. Just please keep it legal. At the end, it doesn't really matter how much money or fame you've had. If you had a happy life, it's, well, worth it. Why miss high school? Probably. Why miss the people here? Definitely. Why come back to visit? Only during 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th hours where my teachers have planning periods. And now as you're either asleep, criticizing my speech, I would just like to say, I will wrap this thing up in a couple pages. Paragraph. A paragraph. So this is that paragraph. This is the paragraph that I should have a conclusive, summary statement that will make the audience cheer, clap, and cry. This should be that paragraph that have my most important message according to how to prepare a graduation speech, WikiHow, with pictures. The pictures didn't really help. So I'm going to end this with a create your own speech style. So use your imaginations, put your favorite inspirational quote here, and so we are all agreeing on what I say. And to all the kids who are in band, stay in band, because you too can play with the All-State Band and give the speech. Thank you.